I ran out.
Well, just some funny comments now. Actually, I should have said something I was meant to say actually in the last video. Actually, it's completely pointless saying it now, but that's fine because this is a bit more informal. I was just going to say you can catch us next on Monday, but I'm pretty sure this is. I'm pretty sure I'm going to put this out. No, I'm pretty sure I'm going to put this out after Monday. So, the space things out a little bit. No, because obviously they can catch us on Monday, can't they? Or they caught us on Monday.
Oh yeah.
Doing some, they saw us on Monday doing some drawing. Anyway, so what the hell is this? You might ask. Well, if you were to go to, for example, the Steam page and look at maintenance update, and then click this icon here, you would find the absolute underworld of the esports community. So look, Invincibles, Invincibles here already. Look at that.
It's beating up Superman.
What?
That was a thing, apparently. That apparently Mark could easily kick Superman's ass.
No. No.
I agree with you, but that didn't stop it from becoming a thing.
Anyway, the goal here is to find some the absolute dregs of the ebook community and string them up. String them up. Not really, but the point is, I don't know. It's sort of, this is the place where you kind of find things like this. Don't let this distract you from the fact that this should have been a season 5 update. Okay, and my read of that initially was like, I think he's saying it should have been season 5. Yeah, I think that's what he's saying.
I think he's saying that season 5 would have been released this time if they were still doing it.
Yeah, and trust me, guys, we're better off this way. I think.
Maybe.
Maybe. Well, I think we are. I don't know if the overall game is.
Well, ultimately, you know, if Road Core is good, then we definitely were, because we sacrificed season 5 this time.
It's going to be a long wait to find out.
Yeah. Well, it's a year now, right? Really, like
a year.
They said November next year, so
that's the goal.
Yippee!
Because you get people. Good work on the update. Could you guys look at fixing armor breaking mod on the PGL? Yeah. So the armor breaking mod still untouched. The armor breaking bug, I should say. And what's the solution there? Well, I know the solution. It's either actually fix it. Although, yeah, well, I think they should move it because honestly, I don't even think those mods are going to stack up to what they're competing with anyway, especially on the PGL. It's competing with Incendiary Compound. It's not going to do anything because it's fixed, and maybe that's why they're not doing it. I don't know. But they've really got to replace them.
More than just the PGL one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Silly.
And that guy's getting validated. That's great. And yeah, it's a lot of it's just this kind of thing.
A lot of it is average Deep Rock community.
You promised that you will never downgrade our beloved weapons and overclocks, and now we get a stubby Voltaic SMG downgrade. You just made it worse. See, now this is something I really need. This is why I need to get my hands on this thing, because that sounds.
A common take?
No, but it still seems like it sounds. It just like there must be something to it. And the only thing that they did in terms of like that kind of thing, they did make the damage bonus mods. It's like they brought them down a little bit. The weak point bonus and the electrocuted enemies bonus by 5% each.
But if that was like his build, that he's kind of boned.
Yeah, but they also made it so the damage mods are increased. But the thing is, you could always get a little bit more damage from weak points or electrocuted enemies without having to take a damage mod. And so what I wonder is, just based on the response to the stubby, there probably wasn't any justification in nerfing it in any area, even if it got better overall.
I think
there's probably no reason to do that.
It might be part of the thing that, like, Mark, he's the gun guy, right? Like,
Mike.
Mike, that's the one. He probably sees something in the guns that most other people don't. Like, he probably didn't entirely agree that it was generally underpowered, since arguably not much changed, right? Like, he quality'd of life the shit out of the 2 turret overclocks. Did he even touch another overclock?
No, which I think was a mistake, by the way. Because
so
what they really missed was just making it more interesting.
Yeah. Well, like, you know, like, yeah, he just made the turret things like nicer to use, and then slightly changed some of the overclocks, and then like didn't like there was like added two of them, right? But they were kind of like not great additions. Like what was it? Armor breaking,
Yeah.
which was like okay. Well, I tell you what, it seems to me like he decided to add a shoots the body build to the stubby, right? Like buffs both of the general damage and adds an armor break. Um,
Well, they also added
that's kind of
accuracy
just
in tier
surprising.
5.
Yeah, then that could be it as well. But or that leads into the thingy. But
I'm sorry, bro.
I don't know.
No, I'm sorry. I can't abide by this stubby tier 5 nonsense. You know, look at this, right? First of all, what the fuck is that? It's a Lego house. Get out of here. But you know, okay, this is as it is currently, so it's slightly outdated. Not currently. Currently for us, this says Carl has it currently though. Electric arc and magazine size. No one's using this. No one's picking this. I can't imagine anyone's picking accuracy over electric arc either. I mean, I don't know what to.
Yeah.
It's just dumb. Stupid.
It does genuinely seem like the first of all, I don't think it was an overhaul. It doesn't feel like it, right? Like it was not a stubby overhaul like the other stuff. But it was think it's supposed to be, since normally
It will
whenever
have a
they've
pretty
had
stacked
mods,
selection now. It's going to
yeah,
be only one of these tiers is
yeah,
going to have two options. So that's going to look nice.
yeah, but it's still only like only one is viable in like each of them, really, right? Like
Yeah.
yeah, so I doubt they made it worse, but they certainly barely improved it, like from just looking at it.
Yeah. What a nonsense. And of course, you get some sort of people on the other side of the fence. It's still friggin' free. Holy shit! So, well, I mean,
I'm sorry, but like,
you expect this to be
isn't
paid? You expect this?
yeah, no, obviously not, but like
No. It's like, well,
at
no,
this
hold on.
point in time,
Seriously though. This update is mostly changes. You can't
yeah,
charge
yeah,
for
yeah.
that. You can't.
No, but like,
You could charge for the
who?
weapon maintenance system. Genuinely, they shouldn't. They didn't.
What?
But some companies would do that. But everything else, you literally couldn't charge for.
But who is charging for shit like this?
Yeah,
Well,
that's
not
what
just
I'm
like this.
thinking. Yeah.
Like, who is adding paid Destiny? I guess that's my first thought. Like Destiny, all of its content additions are like DLC you have to pay for. I guess Elder Scrolls Online, that one as well.
Oh
But
yes.
like generally, for a live service game, free DLC or just free continued edition content is not weird, right? Like it's kind of just a type of content, right? Like Fortnite does it, right? Like that's all free content every
You know
time they
what I
update a
think?
new
Do you know what I
season.
think? I think we've had it too good. I think the reason why the game is in such a fragile spot and why they couldn't put a DLC out now, because putting a DLC out now would like fucking destroy them. I think that's because we're so used to getting everything for free. Because they just never ever
But what
try to.
game
They
do we
never.
not?
Well, no. Well, I don't know. Well,
That's what I keep thinking.
it's actually a good
Like,
point. It's actually a good, making me
like
feel
certain
stupid.
types of games.
Well,
Like,
Tyler,
yeah,
I think it
like
has a lot to do with, especially the live service thing. Like most battle passes aren't really ever free, like wholesale.
yeah, but that's not the same thing. That's not the same thing though. That's like obviously that is them doing a free battle pass, which is an exception and is pretty cool.
And beyond that,
But
there's
like
no like currency you can buy
people
either.
have
That you,
yeah, but people have always been like, "Wow, free content! You can't complain about this. This is so special." When like, yeah, it's really cool, but it's just
it's not
a
special.
type
It's not
of
special.
yeah, it's a type of thing. Like Terraria's been doing it, which obviously that's also a good game. Minecraft, like it is. I would say more common that games add continued content for free than it is not free. Um, like it is weirder nowadays that DLC is paid, and it only was probably common back in the day because DLC you had to fucking ship out in like manual shit or some bullshit, right? Like I don't know. It's a weird argument that I just don't think holds up. Like you would be, I think it's harder to find paid content like that. And I don't know. It's just odd. I just can't
Well,
get
there's a rant about
behind the
DLC.
argument.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Because the only thing that normally is paid is DLC, right? And it's just that if a game is done, then it will ask for DLC, therefore it will be paid DLC. But if it's not done, or it's live service or any of that shit, like, it will just be free.
Well, I'm just gonna read this. Why did they nerf the Stingtail so much? Was he really that dangerous? Rock and Stone. What? A really conflicting like stance. You know, it's like. But yeah, the Stingtail thing's interesting. We'll have to see. I have seen some footage, and yeah, he does seem pretty pathetic actually. That'll be interesting. Oh.
I can't read anything, by the way, so you're gonna have to do it.
Oh, I think I can make it sort of better for you. It's gone blurry. No, because I want you to read this because I can't read it. I don't think you're allowed.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, actually, I could. Why did you fucking nerf Hellfire into the ground, you fuckers? I'm getting quite tired of this R-worded dev team. All right. Yeah. Okay.
I think the
pretty interesting thing to get really angry. Yeah. Okay. I've never bad. Yeah. Let's do that. You read it. Can you read it?
Yeah, I can now. I've nothing bad to say about this patch or the game overall. I'm just sad that it won't get any major updates because I'd happily shell out some gold and nitro for some new biomes and missions.
So they are saying that you would happily actually pay some more money, right?
Yeah, but but because he thinks he's not gonna get any more.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, how has this person got under the like? What? What? What?
It's also it being paid doesn't inherently mean they can make more content either. Not inherently. It's a weird thing because sometimes it feels like that is the case, which is like, oh, we know we're going to get paid for this, so we can make more, to put more work in. But that's not. I don't think that's how Go Ship works. What I'm saying, not at all. And you know, it's like we don't know this 100%, but basically, what we do know is that Roll Call was originally going to be a game mode for Deep Rock, but what we don't know is how that's going to work because supposedly that was going to be DLC, paid DLC, but then it's like that does still leave the status of Season 5 up in the air. You know, we don't know that the Roll Call game mode was going to be Season 5 because it probably wasn't. If it's true that it was going to be a paid DLC, so I don't know what I'm getting at here, but I'm just speaking.
Yeah. Well, I just find it weird that like people praise all the free content and then when they don't get the content, they're like, we will give you money to give us the content we want. Like, it's odd, the consumerism. That like when push comes to shove, people want to give them as much money as they can.
Mm-hmm.
It's, it's a bit odd.
By the beard! Mission icons for loadouts. I mean, by the way, that shield one is also just new. You pointed that out to me. I looked in games, so that was nice. But that does mean there's... and this is really, really stupid and greedy, but all I'm saying is they're just icons. Just add every icon in the game. It can't be that difficult, you know. And that's not a complaint. That's not a complaint. That's just a why not kind of thing. It's just
you just pull out the panel and it fucking like completely breaks the game. It just fills your screen with icons.
I want the damage type icons, for example. I mean, you kind of have some of the you have like fire and ice. You kind of have electricity. The perk icons, yes, exactly. Yeah. There you go. That's what I was looking for. Dead game Lamau. Like, well, there's a chance that it could be. There might be some kind of downtrend happening, but it's just like I don't understand people who just feel the need to jump into like these comments and be like, it's dead game Lamau. But you're real fun. That's nice. That's good. That's good.
Spitting facts.
Ooh.
Nerd stuff.
Juicy bug fixes, but still bummed as any requirement to be able to opt out. Guess I'll wait for a hopefully verified mod. There's not going to be a verified mod that lets you turn off the season content before you get to level 100. That's not going to be verified. That's not going to be.
Ones are quite liberal, right? They I don't quite know. Obviously, isn't there like 3 different types of mods? Or some bullshit. But
I don't know. I thought it's just verified in Sandbox. I thought it was just...
maybe.
And maybe unverified as well. I think Sandbox might still have some kind of verification. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I don't really want to talk about that. Because all I've been saying about that is like, all I've been saying about the season toggle thing is that it's an interesting discussion. That's all I've been just saying that for the past however many times it's been brought up. It's an interesting argument as to whether or not you should have to reach the pass. I guess Tyler will be able to speak on that.
Yeah,
because he's
play the fucking content.
What?
Well, first of all, right? Like, no, play the fucking content. Like, they've gone out of their way, not gone out. Like, this is, I'm not saying, I'm saying it with the wrong attitude, but I've doubled down on getting pissed. But they have fixed as much as they can. Play the fucking content, beat the pass, which is very easily with the events, and then just opt out if you want to. Just fucking play it. I mean, everyone else sucked it up, even when it was dog shit. And now they've made it as simple as easy as possible for you. They've nerfed rockpox into the ground. Just fucking play it.
Yeah, I think
break your fucking save.
Ghostship genuinely bends the knee more than I think it seems on the surface. And I think we can, honestly, at this point, we can do them the basic courtesy of giving them this small amount of like creative authorship, in that we should have to play the content that they make because that
is people who want the switch away like right away. Like, no, we don't want the content you're working on, and it'll be those same motherfuckers that complain about there not being enough content. Now, fuck off.
I guess. All right, fine.
Stupid idea.
I want to keep in mind, everyone, we are not on we're not in. This is not a rational video. This is not. I'm giving complete free reign to be as irrational and as base, not base, just base, just based instincts, based in. Ugh. I need a piss. Right. Actually, I'm gonna read this because I want to read it and see if there's anything in it. Folks, I have one problem with this. I do not want to grind to level 100. What? Stop kicking the game on the ground. It's already dead.
Yeah.
It wasn't already dead. It wasn't.
Yeah, it's just dying.
Anyway, shut up. I stopped playing because I disliked Rockbox and the Season 3 and 4 events and didn't care much for the Season Passes cosmetics. I love everything else about the game and playing with my friends, but just no, this isn't it for me. Would you consider adjusting it to completed part 1 and 2 of the season story missions instead so I can play again? Huh. It's really... okay, I apologise for just saying this again, but it is an interesting conundrum, right? It's like, should they let people opt out of their content or not?
Why does he dislike Rockpox? Because chances are, his problems with Rockpox, they've now fixed.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I always forget about that part as well. That's a really important part of it.
Yeah, like, Rockpox is better. The Corruptor is better. Like, I don't know how by much, and, like, maybe it's not enough still for some people, but ultimately, getting level 100 on the pass isn't that hard. Right, and if it is now a significantly better experience, which from what I've read, it looks to be, right? Like, getting Rockbox is so much harder, getting out of Rockbox is so much easier, like, and all that shit, right? Like, it's kind of just if you really want to just ignore it, right? You can get through the pass by just doing double XPs and like you don't have to fight Rockbox to complete the pass as well. Right?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I think the most like pushed one, I guess, would be I guess the sort of the thing you can't escape so much is Rockpox swarms, which will still happen if it's still on. But that's
worst case scenario if you're this much of
hold on. There's two mission types.
Quit the game.
Yeah, there's also only 2 mission types, and then it's also I guess Harold, right? But Harold, you don't actually have to. Well, you kind of do. Harold is probably the biggest one, actually, but also pretty rare, and they've adjusted him quite a bit. And he's also not he's not too rock boxy, like in a way.
Considering I am level, I think 70 now on the pass.
Wow.
And I've encountered Harold maximum of like 7 times. Could be as low as 3.
No,
in fact,
it's not. It's not that low.
I'm checking. It might be.
Pilot, trust me, it's like 10.
Well, we'll see. Give me a little bit. I'm checking. You can continue, but I will blurt it out when I've got it. But basically, yeah, I don't know. I think you can easily shut the fuck up. Like they have made it even when you have to do it, which you don't ever have to do it. It's not that big a deal anymore. So just fucking suck it up.
Also, I
just
think
play during events or something.
Assuming that I hope I'm right about this. I mean, no, you can just clean up the trail if you want. You don't actually have to engage him. You can just clean up the trail and leave Harold alone. So you can still call the tools in without actually engaging.
7 of them. They nailed it. Fucking dead on.
It would be better to add new cores for guns. Themed depend on events. What? I feel like by cores they mean frameworks. But either way, what a weird suggestion. Like, really?
Yeah, I'm level 74 in the past, and I've encountered 7 Heralds. like, oh no! Scary content! Fuck you!
Ultimate throat goat.
Sorry.
Well, hold on, because I think the other sort of weird debate, we could have done a whole episode on this. But the other weird part of the debate is like, maybe this could be an exception where just for season 4 you can just do it, but it's like then they kind of can't justify it going forward. They can't really justify getting it back to having to finish the pass afterwards.
Kind of.
Well, hold on, no. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just because if they made it so you could do it at any time during season 4, they wouldn't be able to justify going back to
I would agree
normal.
With you if they didn't nerf Rockbox a ton and make it not that big a fucking deal. Like, that's my main thing. Like, if Rockbox was still as unbearable as it was before, annoying to deal with, annoying to get out, physically hurt people, then sure, fucking cancel it immediately. But no, they have made it playable.
Well, keep in mind...
I've not heard anyone say otherwise, right? No one said the Rockbox is still difficult. People are just already saying, probably without even loading up the game, that, nah, fuck that, I don't want to touch Rockbox at all. I don't give a shit that it's probably like a lot more like playable with. Like it's just not fuck off. They basically have like.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Obviously, I need to acknowledge we haven't played it, but I reckon these people probably haven't played it either. Like, even though they can, I reckon they've just seen that Rockbox is still a thing and they just haven't bothered to engage.
I mean, 16th of November at 1:20 p.m. That's like the day of. And like it's been like 16 minutes since it came out, or an hour and 16 minutes, or some shit like that. Like they've not played it, like really at all.
What does that mean? Imagine a major content update for game being a reasonable size. Huh? Is that like is that actual data wise?
Yeah, probably.
It probably is quite small because it probably is.
Yeah.
What the hell? Also, new missions and biomes, please. So, sure. Yes. Make an option to disable the robots and caretaker mission from assignments. Well, Tyler, you've said something like that before. Yeah. You can't really, haven't you?
Because
and yeah, who was just getting really angry about people not wanting to play content?
Please point to me when they made the caretaker missions good. Please point to me when they did that. Right, I can point to you when they made Rockbox good, or like more playable? When did they make caretaker missions more playable?
I could be really cheeky and say they made
escort
Rockbox
duty more
good from
playable.
season 3 because honestly, I've always been okay with Rockbox. Because honestly,
Yeah, they've not been that bad, but they have had some issues. And as far as I can tell, the issues I had with them have evaporated in smoke. The popping thing, the popping bullshit thing, is gone now, right? They've made it into a more reasonable actual mechanic.
imagine thinking bad skins updates on new content. All they did was nerf weapons because everyone was using it and disable bad content they know is bad. I mean, it's reductive, but it's not like inaccurate. But it's also just like I love it. I love people who are like who somehow manage to be like accurate, but also just wrong in terms of their just attitude and mindset. It's just like I think the idea that the only type of valuable development time spent on a game has to add like content is just insane. The idea that you can't the idea that just good changes that make the game better aren't valuably spent development time is ridiculous. And then the skins thing is kind of separate anyway. You could argue that they're bad or whatever. Yeah, sure, whatever.
But that's the incentive.
Right? Well, that's also not like that. What I'm saying, that's not like programmers and things like that's not their work being taken away. If that helps these people at all, which it probably doesn't. But
I mean, it probably was a little bit, but from now on, it probably won't be. Like they would have had to have coded the whole new system, but now they would. I mean, there's still a little bit, but yeah. I would assume.
Okay, so this is one of the weird things, which I think is still true. It's just that turning off the content results in less missions with warnings overall, and that's kind of a little bit strange. I mean, I don't know exactly if they could actually change that, to be honest. Like, it might not really be possible to have it so that the missions that did have the Lift Age outbreak, some of them get a different warning put on them because.
Yeah, so it's just taking away the liver phage outbreak for like the things that would be infected, and then it just leaves it at that.
Yeah,
right?
There's actually there's a weirdly strong chance that. Well, I mean, I'm going to turn it off, but I don't know how like hardline I'm going to be on having the season content turned off. I don't know. I might not be. It's probably not going to be 100% of the time. I'm probably going to turn it back on at some point. To be honest.
There is something. I get that there's more nuance to this, but it is funny that someone turns off all of the warnings and then complains about there not being enough warnings. I get it that they want more other warnings, but it is funny. Like it's like
kind of
like I don't want this warning. Turns it off. It's like, where are all my warnings?
Finally, the sting. This guy thinks the sting tail's still too strong. I don't understand why are you doing more updates. The game's really bad and most of these comments are bots. Don't be tricked.
What the fuck was that?
I mean, what?
I had a scream.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, I thought you. Huh? I'm gonna cry.
There are some odd sounds.
The recording's not picking them up.
Oh, good.
Balance patch after several months. Damn, they're making a new game.
This is more than a balance patch. You can't fucking ignore the.
But they will, Tyler. They will ignore it because it helps them. It helps them make their point by ignoring shit. I don't see that. Yeah, I don't see how it helps them. Because it doesn't help them. It makes it so easy to devalue them. Is what it does when they ignore stuff.
You can easily make a point that the game doesn't. Like, this update hasn't added enough when you ignore 90% of what it added. Like, sure, it's very easy to make that argument.
Well, okay, I wouldn't say 90% because I mean I don't know. The season toggle isn't exactly new content, is it? But that was also obviously I made a point, you know, there's more valuable stuff than just content.
Yeah.
And
that post really got a lot of attention, didn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it's commenting the person, yeah, that's the bot thing. You could have got a job if you're that desperate for points already. What the hell?
Wait, does Steam have like Reddit karma?
Yeah, none of these have it. If I went back to like, I think that's something. That's an emoticon. If I went back to like one of these comments, like earlier on, you'd see some stuff. Think. Add a slot machine to play tanks. Why not?
Like the guy below it.
You made my favorite.
Like,
which one?
that one, yeah.
That one.
No. I like his dude.
This is why Dark Tide is garbage. God, I love you guys. What? I mean, that's probably not something you should engage with. What the hell? No. Okay. This. I mean, we're gonna be careful not to retread some ground. Okay, so quoting the patch notes. This function is completely optional, and you can always turn it on or off whenever you like. No, you cannot. You have to get to performance pass level 100 first. Which means no, hold on, because we need to actually identify this. That's what we need to make sure of.
Definitely says it. I think it would be later.
It's after. It is. Yeah, look. You need to reach level 100 performance pass. You can always turn it on or off whenever you like. I mean, I guess I personally would put either in brackets or even maybe not in brackets. Of course, once I would be right, like of course once you've reached level 100 or something. But they're still not misinforming you.
For a split second, they assumed that people wouldn't be this fucking stupid.
They assumed that people would have some basic level of reading comprehension, but apparently not.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Like memory retention.
I'm going to point out,
read a couple paragraphs
there's a reason why I'm not reading out people's names as well. I mean, obviously they're there to see, but like we're being pretty harsh, and I don't, this doesn't make them a bad person, but they're still saying stupid shit, and I'm going to call them out for it. I do like that. I want to. It's at the bottom of the patch notes, I think. Sick.
It's like
there's always so many typos. Though. I want to point out most of the typos like in other languages that aren't Danish or English. Though people didn't know, mostly other language typos, which makes sense.
Yeah, but like I don't know, it's just a guy. He's like you have to grind through it just to stop doing it. But like, wouldn't you want to complete the pass anyway? Right? Like, if you have no interest in completing the pass, you might as well not play it. Right? Like it is. Fuck.
Yeah.
It's just so stupid.
First mission after patch crash. Okay.
TP.
All right. So well, yeah, that's probably some stuff's been patched since. I guess. Stop nerfing the mobs. People be complaining because they aren't good enough. Was that before? Because this is on the day. Is he saying people were complaining that the Stingtail was too weak before? Can you use the bayonet on that gun?
Steve,
you poor boy. I think you know what he's talking about, right? It's the GK2 down there.
Oh, they
it's just the Waster framework.
He read that as a bayonet.
Not a bad idea.
Or Steve.
I want a bayonet on the M1000.
It would be a cool
sick.
gimmick for a Gen 4 weapon to have.
Yes. Oh my god.
Melee hip.
Oh, that's what we want.
Golden.
Yeah.
Yeah. So bad it got fucking bot checked. I think they're taking the piss.
What the hell is this?
Oh no, it's a dude.
We're not.
He's pulled out the stats.
No, we're not touching that.
Get out of there. I think it is important to note that a vast majority of these comments have not been positive or negative. They have simply been rock and stone, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's important, right?
It's the same thing as when you realise that there are people who sit in people's Twitch chats for hours and just spam emotes.
Yeah, it is that generally speaking, 60 to 70% of the Deep Rock community, even in this section, right, this part of the community, are just people that rock and stone and just play the game. like genuinely,
Yeah.
like they probably don't give a shit past that. They find playing rock and stone funny, and they will just live a happy life.
Finally, new content. I mean, yeah, actually, I sympathise with that. Yeah, someone who quit playing because of Rockpox.
Yeah, you have to play a whole lot more of it.
Sorry, I just want to once again. I don't know. I feel stupid. I want to put it in perspective because I thought we need to just combine the two. They really, really nerfed Rockpox, and you can almost ignore it anyway. I feel like combining those two things, this really shouldn't be a problem anymore. It really shouldn't. What a garbage update. You nerf Hellfire and keep changing other weapons. Just let people have fun. What a bunch of idiot devs. They try to drive players away to play their new cash grab game. Also, you make console players wait 2 weeks. Okay.
I don't like that was the one guy that gave us like that was like recognition.
Yeah, but no,
like,
he's not. He's not though. He's not because he's not really.
No, he's just
he's saying you make us wait 2 weeks. You're in the wrong. You're in the wrong. You're complaining to the wrong person.
And PlayStation is making us wait 2 weeks.
Hold on. Also, we know this person.
I recognise that.
I recognise that. If that's you, I can't remember your name. I really apologise. But if that's you, this is silly.
I'm not gonna say it.
This update won't keep the game alive for 9 more months without new content. Player drop is real. So first of all, it's 7 months until season 5. So let's start with that.
Harry, you remember when we talk comments? They're the one that really is like this. They in no way, shape, or form like the maintenance update, and they don't think it's going to work. Like that's in their opinion in our comments for a while.
Well, it's not. We already know it's not going to work on the same level as the season, but in terms of player count. But the player drop is real is kind of correct. But 9 months without new content is nonsense. It's wrong.
Yeah, and so far the maintenance patch has worked to a degree, right? That 2K up in average player count. That's not bad, right? Like considering 2K down would have been real bad. So
also, I want to go back to this guy actually. So new cash grab game. So hold on, if that's DRG Survivor, I mean that's not even out yet. First of all, and it's probably no DLC attached to it on launch either. And also, well, Rogue was a lot further away, so I don't know what he's even getting at there. It seems to be really annoyed about Hellfire.
Yeah, well, that's what people have been annoyed about, and I would say it's. I think
Hellfire didn't need to go below the original radius it had. I should say. I think it just making sure that it didn't get buffed by the other stuff that they did was important. I think, but they did nerf it overall, and I think
it took a lot
they buffed so much else.
Integrity to do that.
Yeah.
To admit that this should all be buffs. We're trying to earn back their favor, but we're doing the coil gun and Hellfire is kind of broken. So and they just nerfed it.
Yeah, I saw some people on Discord. They were talking about on just in DRG chat. They were like, "Oh, I can't figure out how to use my coil gun for crowd clearing. What do I do?" And someone's like, "Oh, use magic bullets on the bulldog." And he's like, "Oh, I don't vibe with it. So, maybe we could do something with the Burt and blow through." And they were like, you could still just use Hellfire or maybe triple tech chambers or something. I was like, people, they still have no fucking idea about magnetic coils, and I'm so fucking, I don't know,
have you done
vindicated?
A video with it?
Yes,
you haven't, right?
Yes, I have, and it has. I closed YouTube. Why did I close YouTube? Was that the
point of it, or was it just?
Yes, it was. It was. I need to know exactly how well it did. I think it did actually pretty good. Well. It was the first. I think it was the first gunner build I did.
It's pretty old then.
Yeah. There it is. 655 views. The best generalist gunner build.
maybe you just need to do a video just specifically.
Yeah, I will.
Saying
I will.
this is
Especially
the most.
it's going to be about
underrated.
Yeah, the most underrated overclock in the game. Most underrated and overpowered.
And I would honestly, Harry, I would try and gun that video to be like marketable, like 20 minutes. If you can get it in the 20-minute range, that should probably fucking.
I probably
if
could.
You're as right as you are.
I probably could.
You probably should.
I probably should.
Right, if if it's not edible, people won't eat it.
All right, let's do some sort of let's get brisk. I want to find something new because if we don't find anything new, we're gonna probably end this. Please stop pandering to whining greybeards / greenbeards. Keep the game how it is. Real life doesn't have nerfs, so why should this game? What the fuck does that mean?
How can you? No.
Who is this person?
Greenbeards means? What the fuck? So can we stop pandering to long-term players and new players? Fuck other players should you pander to?
Well,
like seriously, I would consider neither of those to be like level 100 to like level 200. Like that's like it. Like any higher than 200 and you're a greybeard, any lower and you're greenbeard. As far as I'm concerned.
Can we say 300?
Maybe, sure. But even then, it's not that big of a difference. I think someone's found the true like evil of this update. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what people should actually be angry about, not Hellfire.
I mean, I don't think it's not crazy, but I do like when people focus on things like this, like, and more like reflection too. It
doesn't help that they buried it, but like...
yeah.
Oh Jesus. God, a whole ass thing.
Go touch some grass, incel. Ah.
That was mean.
Alright, I really need a piss. So holy shit. Holy shit.
It's
the Senate. Oh god. I was really hoping the rocket barrage overclocked for the hurricane. Well, if they kept the bug in, then it would have been buffed. If they kept the... Yeah, I like this guy. It's another one where it's like his top 3 changes are gamma contamination can be applied through armor, range indicators, and a leather hosting gloves.
Yeah.
It's like, I respect someone who's that easily pleased. Although the gamma contamination thing's interesting, though. Like, genuinely. Because I didn't realize that was a thing. Yeah. I think it's going to be it.
Yeah.
2 late Ghost Ship games. You used to rock, but not anymore. I was there when Elite would be introduced as part of every missions, and people complained about the annoyance. And you made the right choice, transforming Elite into a mission mutator. That people were given the choice to face them or not. Okay, so where's this going? Forward a few years of Rockbox and Steam sales, when people again complained about how annoying these 2 were, you just gave them the finger with an eloquent silence, signifying. And thus you abandoned your roots to cater to the elitist tryhards. It was no longer the co-op game for casual fun with friends and strangers. You lost your way, and thus you lost me. Wait, what? Hold on. They catered to elitist tryhards by making it easier. That's worse for casual players, is it? That's worse for casual.
No,
you no longer feels welcome.
Step 1. Comparing the elites to the rifles and stingtails is defamation. Like elites, where they added like a glow, bit of a name tag.
Oh, couldn't you?
And
so bad.
Go for a piss. I'm gonna rant this whole fucking time. Right. You don't need to be here.
No one tell Tyler that I'm planning on doing an elite enemies tier list at some point.
You can do it. I don't care.
Oh
but
no!
Just fucking gall to compare elites where it's just like minimal like stat changes, and then some of the other ones they added like knockback or like speed increase, like just fun statistical changes compared to two entire enemy factions fundamentally built from the ground up, especially for the rivals. Rockpox a little cheaper, but still, ultimately, comparing the two and being surprised that they aren't willing to put them on the back burner, right? Elites, the reason why they fucking let it like slide was because it wasn't that big a deal. Really, like it was some easy made, because that was the point of that update, right? Like it was like you're adding elites, warnings, Swarmageddon, like double warnings, Swarmageddon. It was just and mods. Like it was just an easy update to get out before they take a really long time to work on season 1. So the point of elites is that they were easy to do, quick and easy content that should be rewarding, and ultimately they intended on them being like a thing where the higher hazard you go, the more common they would be. I'm trying to think of like an example in like a different game of that kind of thing, but I know there's definitely one. It's on the tip of my tongue, but basically, yeah, like it was going to be a thing that would make harder difficulties harder in a more interesting way, but ultimately people found them too hard generally, so they kind of backed off and made it into a warning, which I wouldn't mind if they brought back into the game, even maybe just a significantly rarer amount. Otherwise, I don't think you experience them enough. But it's not that big a deal because they're not that big a deal. They're not like that crazy content. It wasn't hard for them to make. They just made enemies slightly bigger. Meanwhile, asking them to backburn the fucking thing is that much is crazy, especially since ultimately the elites got put on the back burner into a warning, and that's what these new enemies are. They're in warnings, or I guess a game mode and rivals and the events. Like, I don't even know what he's fucking on about. They started in the event mode. They're not always there.
Holy
I just
fucking
realized
shit.
how fundamentally stupid he is.
Still going.
Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, I'm still going, and it's getting worse. I just realized that he's so fucking stupid. Like, he's complaining about the elite enemies got reverted into a warning, and then he's complaining about the new enemies, even though they're in a warning. That's what they are already, with additional stuff as well. But they're never just.
He's going to be real
there.
happy when they add Stingtail Infestation.
Yeah, it's fucking. Oh, I just realized Rockpox and Stinktail. I just realized that he wasn't talking about rivals. What the fuck? I don't care. It's the same point. He's a fucking moron, and I hate him.
I just don't understand how any of the stuff is
good
outlined.
riddance,
How
actually. Good
any of
fucking
this.
riddance.
But yeah, fair enough. But how the hell does this squander the goodwill we have? Like this update is restored. Not I wouldn't say. I don't know if that's the right word. I would just say consolidated some goodwill that was sort of I guess in a transitionary period. Like my goodwill was sort of in a transitionary period where it might have disappeared, but it didn't. Anyway, the problem this time, now my banter is empty, we have an excuse to keep going, but that's not a good reason to keep going. Hold on, someone's commenting on this guy, but like not quoting it. No, whatever. Aren't you overreacting a bit? Yeah. I feel like I do feel like people are. I know it's not like the thing is, it's not every enemy. That's the whole point. But the oppressors and dreadnoughts thing. I feel like some people are ignoring it a little bit.
No one's talked about it at all.
No, and that's one of my favourite things that they've done. Yeah, that would be in my top 3.
Yeah. You're gonna do that? You think?
Maybe.
We could probably do that.
We just do it in the podcast.
3. Yeah.
Say our favorite. We'll just say our favorite things because we would.
Yeah.
Perk points. You're forgetting about the perk points. They haven't forgotten. They're just terrified. They're just terrified.
I've got too much perk points.
They can't stop thinking about it, and that's why they haven't done anything yet. They can't.
Yeah.
Because all they do is think about it, but they don't do anything about it. And that's one thing I'm very comfortable. It's something I'm very comfortable calling Ghost Ship out on because they know about it. They're very aware and they're always thinking about it, but they're just not doing anything. They're just not doing about it.
Yeah. once again, I mean, I don't know. I think that ultimately the controversy and all this shit has just been a miscommunication and like delayed response and just all that stuff, and that's how it got so bad. But also, I don't know. I think they should have released. They should have. We should have gotten season 5. I do think that. And then with season 5, they should have announced from now on until the next season, which can be in God knows how long. We will be delivering Road Core. I do believe that we should have gotten season 5 with the announcement of Road Core instead of waiting like 6 months or 5 months or 7 months. I don't know how long it's been. Instead of waiting half a year, expecting season 5 to then tell us that it's delayed. Like they fucked up bad with that. I don't remember where I started on this. My point is, I think we should have gotten the perk rework before they worked on a new game. That would have been the ideal situation.
Yes,
And we
absolutely.
still might. If season 5 does give us the perk rework, which I'm hoping for, crossing the fucking fingers.
It just. What's going on out there? Can you shut the fuck up? Can you shut? Seriously?
Like, yeah. Like if it's literally a biome and the perk rework, that's literally all season 5 would need to add, and that would be it. Genuinely, I think.
I like games.
Do it.
I like it. What the hell? You guys at Gist, you're really out here thinking of every possible quality of life. There is a lot of quality of life stuff they've added and done over time when you think about it, but there's still more.
whenever they seem to think about it, I genuinely think anything that isn't quality of life is just a oversight. Like as soon as it's like brought up to their attention, they tend to add it. Like the anklometer to the drills. Like as soon as they saw that mod, they were probably like, "Yeah, shit, fuck, we forgot about that. We should probably do that."
More depth of features to the post game stats system, like exact damage, how many specials killed. I mean, I wouldn't mind some stuff. I think the medals thing they don't want to do, like even though I like it, where people will get like a title of like what they would the best stat in that mission.
Yeah,
I would like. I don't think they want to do that for some reason. I don't really approve of their mindset.
I think the main thing for that one is that kind of system is quite common in this kind of game, right? Like that's the main thing. Like, yeah, co-op games like this tend to get it quite often.
No buff to the abysmal ice. I like that wording of like ice lance instead of ice spear.
It's a cooler name.
50
Maybe that
ammo
should be
to get average damage and stun. See, the average damage thing I have to press. He's clearly not freezing them. So instead of freezing, it doesn't hurt your freezing power. It doesn't, or ammo.
Ultimately, though, that's even more ammo.
Yeah, ice spear could be. That's why ice spear probably shouldn't consume that much ammo. Really, it would be really good if it used less ammo. Actually,
a really interesting mechanic that I just thought of is it uses the rest of your what's it, pressure, like
so much earwax in my earphones. It's disgusting.
It sounds disgusting, but like however much like pressure you have left when you start like charging up ice spear is how much it uses. So if you use it like really well and like you would still use ammo though, but it would be like how much ammo you use freezing and then the ice spear, and that would be like how efficient you use it.
The thing is, but then suddenly the ice spear is like very like it takes away. It's such like an interesting like breakpoint in that it can one shot a lot of things without freezing them, and then also the breakpoint gets upped by freezing things. Like I always thought that mechanic made more sense for Snowball, because it would just be like you base it off of what you're trying to freeze. Basically, is how much you put into it. But I kind of want it for both, to be honest. But to me, it makes more sense with Snowball, but.
It would then be one-shotting enemies out the gate, and one-shotting enemies after freezing would theoretically cost the same amount of ammo. That's the point of this. That shooting to freeze the enemy and then activating Ice Spear will kind of still cost the same. Or maybe, like, I don't know. Yeah, it would cost the same either way, basically.
Anyway.
Is the idea.
Okay, so we got
Fuck
the number.
you.
What? Who? Which one?
Him. Like, why would you want it to be? I don't know. It's different
What does he
priorities,
actually
I
mean?
guess. He wants it all. Like he wants all the XP that he's already gotten with the weapons to counted already, so then he can unlock it all immediately.
Well, that'll be
essentially.
retroactive though. Just to use the
Yeah,
wrong word.
that's what you mean.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
25,000 as well. That's interesting. You got the number. Yeah. Which makes me, from what I've seen, it makes me want it to be like I want it to be so you have to select them. To be honest, I don't like the idea of actually progressing two at once.
Fucking weapon.
No, I don't, because I don't like the idea of progressing two at once. I don't think that makes much sense for what the system's doing.
It so quick.
I know, but I don't see the point in adding it if it's quick.
Yeah, but it still won't be that quick. But actually, I mean, I don't know. It won't be slow. Like, it will probably be a system that I think from someone that just gets the game, they'll probably complete that system before even perks.
This guy hasn't played since season 4 because of how much they don't like Rockpox.
Oh, it's not saying anything. So he played all of season 3. What?
Yeah, I guess so. But it's just like the fact that I don't know. I think season 4 made Rockpox better on its own. Personally, it just made them more engaging to fight.
It made and no. Like, it exposed the issues that Rockpox always had because you encountered them more and more dynamically. But it did improve them technically, but then it didn't at all. And now they just improved overall.
So, I mean, I didn't even really consider the C4 thing. That you can, where if you take it so you have a total of 3, you'll get 2 per resupply. That seems to be what's changed.
Was a bug?
I guess so. Well, yeah. I think in general resupply is supposed to round things up. So it should have been 2 instead of 1. So that might actually change some things.
That is above.
Yeah. Like, where are we at? Oh, almost an hour. This. Yeah, it's a lot of the same shit. It's a lot of, now, how long till the season is over? It depends on how long you take to finish the pass, mate. Yes, that's a good request. This is the kind of thing that you should be looking at for the next one. Of a lot of mission-based stuff, like refinery. It's very specific, but on low oxygen refinery, like the pump jack should have O2 on them, for example. I think that's a great idea. I think I've said before. And it is something that they paid attention to before. Like, it's the reason why escort duty is like basically is weirdly unaffected by low oxygen almost, because yeah. All right. I think that's enough. I've had enough. I've had enough of these dregs. But yeah, that's what you get when you look into the very. I mean, it was actually not. It wasn't that bad actually. It wasn't, but it was still some stupid takes.
Yeah, still,
that's what I want to find some dumb takes. I don't know how often. I don't know if we'll do this. We'll probably do this again. But yeah, this could be like the same as the. This could be a thing. We could do the Steam charts thing and this simultaneously every time we do that. I don't know. Maybe. This was fun. And clearly it got Tyler going, which is my goal in most cases.
Which isn't good for my health.
Really?
Getting me pissed all the time.
Graying. You're going grey.
Yeah, I'm losing hair.
All right, well, it's very informal. I don't really feel like outroing this like properly. I'm not going to do like the routine. I'm just not. I
mean, if we had a Patreon, this would probably be the kind of thing we'd put on it, right? Like,
we could make this members only.
God no.
We're not going to do that. We're not. We're not going to do it because you're watching it. If you're watching it.
And also because then no one would see it because we have
like the members thing is like that's literally just a donation thing. It's not. It's like
Yeah.
It's not.
That's because
We do not
could.
expect people to do anything. We do not expect people to give us money at all. But it's like it's literally just there. So I'm really, which is why I'm very glad that you actually put a couple things in there. But that's ultimately not the point. I mean, that's why we don't expect anything.
Yeah.
All right, it's an hour just passed on this recording, so that's our cue. What?
Bye bye. Ta ta.
Ta-ta.
Hooray. Hurrah.
Hurrah. That doesn't mean goodbye.
That's it.
Hurrah.